10 things that can only happen once in a lifetime. Number 10. Witness a monster eclipse. Nowadays, it seems that every other week some colossal entity hanging in space is either eclipsing something, is being eclipsed by something, or is preposterously eclipsing itself. We get it, NASA. Space is indeed a mystical place, and the sun, moon, and the various planets seem to like randomly merging themselves together for a short period of time, reminiscent of a sporadic mating period. But monster eclipses are different. These last for several hours and convey a visual element that is so unique that some can only be re-experienced after hundreds of years. On June the 5th and 6th of 2012, the world was able to witness the planet Venus passing across the face of the sun for about 6 hours, thereby causing a small black dot to appear on the sun's surface. Unfortunately, this event will not reoccur until 2117, therefore, if you missed it, there's a very, very small chance you'll be able to see it again. Number 9. Donate a kidney. If you donate your brain, you will die. If you donate your heart or lungs, you will also die. Get the picture? Your kidneys, however, come in a pair, which means that under normal circumstances, every healthy human being will be born with 2. Most interesting is the fact that you only need one to continue to live a normal life free of artificial treatment and dialysis, which is the therapeutic procedure used to filter waste products from the blood. It's as if we were given one kidney as a backup to compensate for all the junk we consume these days. Now, if you take ethics and the technicalities out of the equation, it's very possible to donate whichever organs you choose to whomever. Just know that no legal or respectable medical organization will ever fulfill your wish to have your last kidney removed, at least not under normal circumstances. With that said, a kidney is surely an organ to cherish because you never know when some lost brother or sister may show up at your doorstep and ask you for a favor. Can I have a kidney, please? And that's when you get to say, sure, but after this we're even. Number 8. Compete in Miss Universe. Since 1952, the Miss Universe pageant has been internationally respected as the granddaddy of all beauty pageants. Acquired by Mr. Donald Trump in 1996, the pageant still satisfies much of its long-standing traditions, giving much of the world something to look forward to year after year, even if for some people that may just be eye candy. Throughout the Miss Universe pageants, beautiful young women between the ages of 18 and 27 from several participating countries put their beauty and brains to the test, competing with each other in a series of modeling events and question and answer segments. Competing in the pageant is a lot of work and is certainly a high-pressured affair. Just making it to the semi-finals of this pageant is a feat on its own, yet there is one caveat. You can only compete in the pageant once. Yep, just once. So if you don't win this time around, there is no next year. Now, that's a lot of pressure. Number 7. Serve a second term as US President. Could you imagine what it would be like if the same president was capable of governing the United States of America year in and year out for 50 years? Once upon a time, 1947, before an amendment was made to the US Constitution, it was very well possible for a president to serve more than 2 terms in office, as was evidenced by Franklin Delano Roosevelt's 3 terms from 1933 to 1945. He was then re-elected to serve a 4th term, but died shortly after that due to a cerebral stroke. Many believe that Roosevelt's death is the reason the amendment was made to ensure that no US president could serve more than 2 terms. Even if this could not be proven, one cannot dispute that being the US president surely must take a serious toll on the mind. For this reason, those lucky enough to serve a second term should always strive to make the best of this once-in-a-lifetime experience. Number 6. Lose your innocence. Innocence is usually used to refer to something that is chaste, genuine, naive, or blemish-free. Do you remember how you used to believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy? Yes, admit it, you were really dumb. Sorry, I mean innocent. The term losing your innocence could mean many things to different people. Some see losing your innocence as being rid of your virginity, some see it as finally growing up, and others see it as finally learning that not getting an A in every exam could actually mean that you are more intelligent. But whatever you take innocence to mean, one thing is certain. Once you lose it, you can't ever get it back. Afterwards, you will look at your mummy and daddy and question everything they tell you, possibly shouting, "Lies, all lies, I know where babies come from." Number 5. Contract chickenpox. The human body is designed to function efficiently while attempting to counteract any foreign matter that invades it. This is most easily seen in the way our bodies fight off certain sickness and diseases. Chickenpox, a highly contagious disease that is frequent among young children, is a prime example. The disease is spread via air through coughing and sneezing and causes a severe inflammatory skin rash that in itself is also contagious. What's interesting about chickenpox is that once you get the disease, providing it's full-blown, you can't contract it a second time. This happens as your body develops antibodies that grant you automatic lifelong immunity to the disease. Nevertheless, there is a compromise to possessing this immunity. Chickenpox is caused by the varicella zoster virus, which is also the same virus that causes shingles, a more painful rash that can eventually reactivate itself years later due to the remains of chickenpox lying dormant in the root of the nerves of those who once contracted it. Shingles is more dangerous, as if left untreated, it can lead to death. So, your option is to either attempt to contract chickenpox and hope you don't eventually contract the more potentially deadly shingles in the future, or not contract chickenpox by attempting to stay far away from all persons in question. Number 4. Regrow a full set of teeth. A typical baby is born with no teeth, though some babies have long proven that it is possible to be born otherwise. Generally, at around 1 year old, babies begin to develop teeth, often one every month or so. By the time the child is around 3 years old, they would have a full set of teeth. Children can then start to lose each of their teeth as early as a year after that, which will continue for some time well into the future. The purpose of this shedding is a biological one, which occurs in order to make room for a child's eventual permanent or adult teeth. Once this new set of teeth regrows in the mouth, there are no do-overs. Like it or hate it, these will be the only full set of natural teeth you will ever again be fortunate to have, and it's best you take advantage of using them. Once all your natural, permanent teeth are gone, they're gone. Of course, later in life some people will obtain wisdom teeth, but these don't come in plentiful enough to be considered a full set. Number 3. Join the Illuminati. This one is rumoured. Or is it? There seemed to be a time when the Illuminati was at the tip of everyone's tongue, and you could not dare watch a movie or music video without having evangelists or free-minded people screaming that you should be paying more attention to all the signs. Did you see the secret white horse running in the background of that music video? Did you see the dark colour of her eyes? Just look at the way he held his crotch. It's the secret mark they show as a sign they've become one with the devil. Okay, we get it. After all this time, there has been so much talk, propaganda, and timely coincidences surrounding the Illuminati that the world is now forced to accept that there may or may not be a secret organization that ultimately intends to control the entire world. One fact most people seem to agree on is that the number of times you can join the Illuminati is presumably only once. This is because it's rumoured that once you join, you immediately make a pact with demons, and that success in life shall be yours for as long as you continue to worship them. Sever ties with the organization, and it's rumored you will spend the rest of your life trying to become popular again after your many unexpected run-ins with the law and the many ways in which you seamlessly become a disgrace to society. Oh, it's also rumored that if you try to show them up, they will not rest until they eventually kill you, sort of like how they did in Michael Jackson and Tupac. Rumors, people. Rumors! Number 2. Dive too deep. The bends. Divers will instantly know this one, and many instantly fear it in the same breath. There are several names to call it, including decompression sickness, diver's disease, and Kaysen's disease, but the most colloquial term for the disease is the bends. The bends results from a reduction in the ambient pressure surrounding your body whenever it stays within an unnatural atmosphere for too long. Bubbles form in or near joints and are the presumed cause of the joint pain of a typical bend. When high levels of bubbles occur, complex reactions can take place in the body, usually in the spinal cord or brain. Since bubbles can form in or migrate to any part of the body, the bends can therefore produce many symptoms, and its effects may vary from joint pain, dizziness, confusion, headaches, rashes, to paralysis and even death, with symptoms constantly changing over time. Decompression illness is fairly common and affects scuba divers, aviators, astronauts, and compressed air workers. It occurs in approximately 1,000 US scuba divers each year. Many times, a case of the bends is not life-threatening, but if more severe effects are left untreated for too long, they can become permanent, ensuring that divers may never in this lifetime dive again. If for some bizarre and not recommended reason you wish to experience this level of the bends, just be sure to do everything you may have once dreamt of doing while underwater before then. Number 1. Forgo your manhood. Many men prize their manhood to be the pinnacle of their existence. After all, they can whip it out, wiggle it, make wee-wee with it, and if they feel adventurous enough, they can even cut it off or freely exchange it. Now, a word of advice to all men out there. If for whatever reason you one day get up and get the urge to sacrifice your manhood, know that no matter what you do, it will never grow back. Yes, never. Humans cannot regenerate external body parts. Now that that's in your head, if you still choose to go through with sacrificing your manliness, you always have the option of freezing it and eventually trying to have it sewn back on. You can even pay to have someone else's manhood stitched back on, so you can eventually call it yours. Regardless, you still should be prepared to live with comments from the general public that may suggest that real men don't borrow other men's junk. If you can live with that, then respect should go out to you.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button in the top right. Our channel has loads of other awesome videos just like this.